All right, you guys, we're going to be talking about the least common multiple in this video. So we talked about factors in the last video and how factor sounds like factory, and those are the building blocks of our numbers. So when we multiply them, that's how we build or get to those numbers. So factors are smaller than the numbers and they're multiplied. Now, multiples. Today we're going to be talking about our least common multiple. So multiple sounds like multiply for a reason, because we're going to be multiplying our numbers today. Instead of finding the small factors that are going to build the numbers, we're going to multiply the actual numbers. So we're going to be working with much larger numbers in this lesson than the last. So let's take those same two numbers that we just worked on for our greatest common factor, the 24 and the 40. And let's list out the multiples of those to see how that compares. So a lot of times the number one mistake that students make with multiples is that they forget what the very first multiple is. So we're going to multiply the number that we're finding the multiples of by 1. So the first multiple is always going to be the actual number itself. So 24, the first multiple is 24. Then we get into 48 and so on and so forth. So please don't forget that first multiple, which is itself when you're multiplying times 1. So let's see, 24, 48, 6, 72, 96. And let's see if any of our multiples of 40 are lining up yet. Don't forget the first one, 40, 80, 120, 160. I'm not seeing any line up. So let's double check back in with our 24. So I'm going to add 24. Oh, what are you noticing? $120 would be our least common multiple. So we multiply, that's why it's multiple, and the least one, we're looking for the smallest one, whereas greatest common factor was looking for the biggest of the common factors. That's it. It's easy as that. We can do one more example though. Instead of working with double-digit numbers, you might be asked about triple-digit numbers or even single-digit numbers. Let's do the least common multiple of 3 and 6. So if I'm listing out the multiples of 3, I would have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and I could keep going. For 6, I would have 6, 12, 18, 24, and keep going. But what are you noticing? What is the least common multiple here? It's 6. For some reason, these type of problems seem to stump people because they think that the answer cannot be one of the numbers that is in the original question. That is a common misconception about these types of problems. So when you get really comfortable with it and you can look at the work that's in front of you, you can understand why that is possible for the solution to be part of the original question, if that makes sense.